Oh no, Julian, man, she has perfected that. Shoot, even that movie she did, was it Blind? Her and Mark Ruffalo. It's a terrible movie.
That's probably why I haven't seen it.
It's so bad. It came out like in 2008.
Okay.
I remember seeing it. I was like, and actually, that's the movie. You want to talk about? That's a category we need to do one day. Movies that just piss us off. That's the movie that pisses me off because it makes blind people like they're useless savages, and that the whole world went blind. We would be, there's a scene where the lady, she was literally crapping in a hallway because she's like, oh, I'm blind, so no one knows where I go and poop. No, that's, I personally don't know a blind person.
I get why that's offensive, but I can't really argue with that.
No, I can't argue with it too, but it's just.
I feel like I would know roughly the general area where somebody.
You know what?
Somebody pooped here.
You know what? Freaking, if Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder could do a movie called, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, where one's blind and one's deaf, and it's a comedy, you could do a good blind and deaf movie or a blind movie. Oh man, that movie just made me so mad. I was sitting there thinking like, just because you have no sight does not mean that you lost all human rights. Like, her husband has an affair with another woman because he thinks that because he's blind, it's okay, he can relate. No! It doesn't. You're using blindness as a crutch. No, you're just crappy people. That's all you are.
That was a very dramatic opening.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, dude, that was like some Neil deGrasse Tyson stuff there.
Like we're the beginning of Cosmos.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome to What to Watch, guys. As the giant animation showed you, I'm Peyton Fretwell, and this is Chris Gates.
You sure I'm not Bill Nye?
I don't know at this point.
No, this is great.
I feel like in this situation, I would be Bill Nye, and you're Neil deGrasse. No reason other than I currently have a Netflix deal.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
thank you for joining us, though.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. We're back after kind of a little bit. It seems like this is, hopefully this won't be a long-standing.
It won't be. It won't be. Everything's getting back to normal. So
yeah, we're getting back to normal. We're going to have a little bit more of a consistent schedule. Sorry about the long pauses between episodes, and hopefully we'll.
It's his fault. He's been in rehab.
I've had a terrible pixie stick addiction. I'm very addicted to the stuff like Kimmy Schmidt was.
That's true.
Just finished Kimmy Schmidt. That's where that joke came from.
I have been addicted to oxycodone for as long as you can think of.
It's a real problem.
It is. But you know what's not a problem? Movies.
And
we got a lot of good movie news for you.
Yeah, we're going to talk about movie news, as you can see.
Cut away.
As you can see from our new sidebar that we have added for you guys. It's on this side. It's on this side. It's right here.
No, I'm just amazed by everything. I haven't done this in so long. I don't even know which direction I'm supposed to look at.
But obviously, right now we're gonna segue into Guardians of the Galaxy, which obviously the second one came out.
Yep.
And I don't know if we got a chance to talk about it in our last episode, but both of us saw it, I believe.
We both saw it.
Awesome movie.
It is.
They've done it again. Kurt Russell being a great character in that film. The team's back, and they've done it again. James Gunn and team have done it again. With
Marvel once again has set the bar high for their comic book movies. This is one of the ones I'm more surprised about because this is a very unknown comic book. Only like the diehard, I think, fans really knew what these characters were before it made it to a movie, and they've done it again.
Yeah, and we're going to get a little bit into Guardians of the Galaxy 2 spoilers here in a little bit. So if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2, what are you doing? Go watch it and check it out. You won't be disappointed. It's an amazing movie because we're about to start talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
And go to Dairy Queen and get the Blizzard. I had the Guardians of the Galaxy Blizzard. It's delicious. It's so good.
Do not miss the Guardians of the Galaxy Blizzard.
Please sponsor us, Dairy Queen. Anyway.
Oh my God, Dairy Queen. Put a little graphic. We can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
But Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Marvel has announced that it's going to be delayed for an unknown amount of time until they figure out what they're doing with the other Avengers movie. Now, a lot of people might consider this a problem, not knowing when the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to come out? I don't think so. What do you think, Chris?
You know what? Here's the thing. For those who know about Marvel, they put their movie in phases, and I think we're
reaching the end of Phase 3.
We're reaching in Phase 3. It might end later this year, or probably when the Avengers or so come out. I have no problem with it simply because we know that the Guardians are going to show up again. As it's kind of teased about the end of Guardians. It got a multitude of after credit endings.
Like 5 endings.
Yeah, 5. That we know that they're going to show up in the Avengers movie.
They went full Lord of the Rings.
They did, and I'm okay with that. And chances are, you might even see them as cameos, probably in Thor Ragnarok that comes out later this year. You got the Spider-Man Homecoming movie that comes out in
and before we see them again, we're also going to have Black Panther. We're going to have obviously the new Avengers film. We're going to have Captain Marvel and the new Ant-Man film.
Exactly.
And then I think the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 right now is tentatively slated for the same year as the sequel to Spider-Man.
And you know, that's a big excuse me, that is a big movie right now franchise they got going on with these characters. So they have to figure out. I'm okay with a delay simply because at least Marvel knows they don't have to rush it. They don't have to put something out there just because to appeal to their fans and try to do fan service. Or like another comic book company right now, DC. But that's besides the point. I think that, go ahead and delay it. I don't see it as a bad thing. Yeah, it may suck before you see, another adventure with Star-Lord and Gamora and obviously Drax, who's become everyone's favorite because it's just, he doesn't know humor. But it's not like we're not going to see these characters probably pop up in another Marvel movie anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree. They don't have to rush it. And it's good to know that as fans of Marvel and Marvel films, that going into the next few years of Marvel films, we won't really have a reason to miss them that much because we'll be seeing them in the other films. And also Marvel has done such a good job of creating their other characters that, I'm just as excited for the Ant-Man sequel as I am for a Guardians of the Galaxy sequel. I'm just as excited to see the solo Black Panther movie because of how awesome he was in Civil War. They do so well by their characters that any of their side characters I would be okay seeing. When they announced Phil Coulson was going to be the head guy of this Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, I was very excited just because the little bit we got of Coulson in the Iron Man films and a little bit in Thor. I loved his character. They do such a good job of crafting these characters that I genuinely believe they could take any of them and make their own movie, and it would make $1 billion.
It would, and not only that, I give kudos to Marvel. They know which characters are best to team up to make the movies.
And don't forget, when the first Guardians of the Galaxy came out, the majority of us, I think, unless you're a big comic book fan, didn't know what the Guardians of the Galaxy were. And a lot of people were going, really, Marvel? This is what you want to stake a whole franchise on? This Guardians of the Galaxy with a talking raccoon and a tree that says 3 words. Little did we know it was going to be a $1 billion franchise.
$1 billion franchise with your main lead actor, Chris Pratt, best known for Parks and Rec.
Yeah, the schlubby
guy.
Dope in Parks and Rec.
And it didn't. Even I was sitting there saying like, "Dang man, Marvel's just getting kind of desperate now. Like they're just grabbing anything out that."
He gave hope for any semi-good-looking redhead that he also could be the star of a superhero franchise. All of us, everywhere. Nobody specific. One day.
Don't worry. I mean,
one day.
The superhero soon turned Captain America. I mean, Steve Rogers is the Captain America. I'm pretty sure.
That's why I wore my leather jacket today. I'm channeling my inner Star-Lord.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's not working.
Okay, don't just stab me with a lightsaber down a big shaft. Anyway.
I could be taken out of context. We're just gonna skim past that.
What we're not going to skip past is our next topic, and that is about what series
the
finale?
Flash and Arrow.
They had big series finales this past week,
and just for our Supergirl fans and our Legends of Tomorrow fans, I honestly haven't seen the last season of Legend of Tomorrow. I'm waiting until it drops on Netflix. There's so much TV to watch, and Supergirl just it didn't get hooked on me with it, and it was on CBS, and it didn't get hooked on me when it was on CW. So
hey, that's all right. I can tell you what happened to Supergirl. She still wins.
She wins.
Do check out Supergirl because Tyler Hoechlin, whatever the guy's name is, Tyler. Sorry, I screwed his name up. Playing as Superman, he does a fantastic job playing as Superman for the TV series. And the series finale was actually very well done. These are spoiler alerts. We're actually talking about these series finale. So if you haven't seen them yet, stop it. Go watch them on your Hulu, Netflix,
CW. It's actually not on Hulu anymore.
It's not.
I was really bummed when they took Arrow.
Good news. The CWC is actually. I've watched their streaming service online. You don't have to install nothing. You just go straight to their website. It's free, and it really doesn't have that many commercials. So it's really good. I do recommend it. But if you spoiler alerts for that. Supergirl, big tease, of course. The two big teases that it did in was they do confirm that a Batman is in the Supergirl universe. So that one of the reasons I do like that is because it seems like, and this was going to segue into Arrow, that Warner Brothers is allowing them to use characters, their big characters established for their TV series, because I think they realize like their TV series really does have a great following itself, and they're doing excellent work with it. I love seeing Deathstroke return on Arrow. I thought that's such a great idea to do that, and even Captain Boomerang, because to be honest with you, Captain Boomerang in Arrow is a lot better than the Suicide Squad one. And I give Jai Courtney credit. He wasn't that annoying.
And I want to say something about because I go on a lot of subreddits on reddit.com, and I go to these Flash and Arrow forums. A lot of people seem to be thinking that since Arrow did such a good job with their season and Flash had kind of a lackluster season having another speedster villain, that somehow the finale for Flash wasn't that good and Arrow's was miles ahead better. In my opinion, though I loved Arrow and this season so far with Adrian Chase, I thought the season finale, other than the fight scenes, was really lackluster as far as storytelling goes, because they kind of crammed a lot of stuff in, and toward the end, that big kind of cliffhanger where they quote-unquote kill everybody off on the island, I thought was kind of weak, because, I mean, obviously they didn't kill everybody. I'm sure there's going to be some
contracts haven't been negotiated.
I was about to say there's going to be a lot of negotiations going on, but like Merlin might be dead, sure. I don't think he is, because we didn't see a body.
I don't think Captain Boomerang is dead either. So.
I don't think Captain Boomerang is dead. I don't think really any of them are dead. But I'll be really excited to see how they got off the island. That'll be fun. But as far as the cliffhanger ending goes, it was pretty meh. And a lot of people were really upset about the Flash ending, because he kind of had to go into the Speed Force and leave Iris and stuff. And I was kind of like, well, of course, of course he did. There had to be a punishment, consequence. Like he said, this is my penance for what I did with the Flashpoint. And a lot of people were upset about that. And I know one of the PAs in our Carla Shiver, she was very upset about that. Didn't think that Iris should have let him go. I was like, what was Iris going to do against the Speed Force? First of all,
who's a Carly? Sorry,
what's a Carly? I think she made an appearance on one of our shows before. But what's Iris going to do against the Speed Force? She's Iris and can't do anything.
She should have been dead.
She should have been dead. Rest in peace, HR. And then also, if he hadn't have gone into the Speed Force, we saw like thousands of people dying. Like by lightning. And that was my big thing. My problem with it wasn't that he went into the Speed Force. My problem was that it took him so long to get into the Speed Force, because while he's saying goodbye to everybody on the Flash team, we just hear screams in the background like, "Oh my God!" Yeah. It's like, dude, just get in the tunnel. What are you doing?
I said the same thing too, because I was sitting there thinking like, Barry, you really have killed so many people
by just taking your time.
Like just the whole seasons.
Yeah, for being the fastest man alive, you are being slow as
I was like, you are not like, oh man, like Barry's supposed to be he's supposed to be up there like with Batman as far as intelligence, but this Barry Allen is just wow.
Yeah. A lot of people criticize on the show that Barry Allen's intelligence has kind of taken a back seat because he is surrounded by so many geniuses in the show. It's, you know, he was always surrounded by Caitlyn. He was surrounded by Cisco and Harrison Wells. Now they got another genius with the woman HR fell in love with.
Chess, whatever her name was.
Yeah, and then Jessie Quick, she's also a genius from Earth 2, and
Heck,
Wally's like an expert engineer now.
Yeah, he's an expert engineer
because he worked on cars a little bit. It's just
I got my degree from IT.
He's like, did he get his degree from MIT? I don't. Yeah, like we'll find that out in the next season. I'm an MIT grad.
This is the problem. I will say this: the issue that I think I have with Flash, it's not really most much an issue. I feel that Flash. I feel it's a show that I think the creators realize, like, you know what, deep down inside, I don't think they think the show can probably go 5 seasons. I think that's what the creators think. Obviously, you know what, here's the thing. Smallville went on for like 11 years, and it did a whole lot. I know Superman has a huge mythos, but these characters, the comic books, you could do a huge mythos based off the characters. Arrow's going into season 6 now. And
they really could keep going.
They can keep going. Arrow is one of those things you can keep going. Supergirl is now possibly going to introduce Batman. They're going to
have a Justice League.
And she's going to do her own version of Justice League. Not to mention she's on another Earth. And I think, the point I think with Flash is, the biggest problem was, I don't understand, the first 3 seasons, they introduced all 3 big bads. They got them out the way. You've done Reverse Flash, you've done Zoom, you've done Savitar. Now with season 4, with Abracadabra, they're going to bring out the Thinker. So they're probably going to have a more intelligent villain, which I would assume, because at this point in time, there's not much more they can do with the Flash. They've already done everything they can speedster-wise. I mean, how is he the fastest man? Is someone else is faster than him?
And not to mention, Gorilla Grodd's still going around everywhere. He's a huge villain in the comics.
He is.
And he's still kicking around, and he's just over there on another Earth, waiting to go. And some of the best episodes of this past season were the Gorilla Grodd episodes.
They were. Some of them were. And I get it. Like, a lot of people were disappointed with season 2, with the Zoom reveal being that it's actually Jay Garrick, but it was just actually Hunter Zolomon posing that Jay Garrick. And this season, I personally thought, we used to talk about who we thought Zoom was. I thought for the longest time it was 2 people. It was either going to be Eddie Thawne himself and then Wally West, because I was like, it has to be one of those 2. To find out that it's a future version of Barry Allen that was based off one of his...
You're talking about Savitar, not
Savitar.
Zoom.
No, sorry. Savitar is a future version of Barry Allen based off one of his clones that he can make from when he's doing, I forget what he calls them.
Time remnants.
One of his time remnants. Interesting twist. I'm not disappointed with it. It's an interesting twist the way I did it.
And it made it interesting that, like, everything that Barry knows, he knows. I thought that was a really interesting thing.
It is. And I like he made a suit that makes him go faster, all that sort of stuff. Even though did they ever explain the suit? Maybe I missed that part.
Yeah, he just made a suit.
He just made a suit.
Other than that, I don't know. I don't know why it changed color when our Barry got in it. That made me kind of confused. I was like, wait, if they're the same Barry, then why is the color different?
I know. That's just
it just kind of bugged me. I guess they did that just so we wouldn't be confused as the viewer.
Yeah. And it's just so I can get it. So, like, you bring it back to the point you were talking about the season finales of Arrow and Flash, which one was better. Arrow, I think, after 2 seasons, particularly season 4, which a lot of people were disappointed, just
I don't know how I ever made it through it.
How that whole season just turned out. With the whole everything, I think, especially that was the season Felicity just gets up and just walks out and closes the door.
The funniest thing I have ever seen.
And that's supposed to be a serious scene
in years.
And I remember I sat there and watched that with my mother. And we were both, cause she's an Arrow fan too. She was just like, really? Like, did they just really put that on the air?
I laughed for a good 30 minutes. Like, my abs hurt, my abdominals right here. It felt like I ran a mile. It hurt to laugh.
And so Arrow coming back this season, more of the comic book route and going where it was, it got itself back on. I mean, I don't like to compare seasons. Personally speaking, I'll say this, I'm still more of a Flash person because I just like how Flash is done. Flash is done in such a way I haven't been this enthralled by a TV series. And, and Arrow is good, but Arrow to me, it's kind of, its tone is there. It's always going to be Oliver's going to have to deal with the darkness that's around him, and you know he has this group of people. In a sense, it's the same thing. Like for instance, no offense to Gotham, which I'm gonna give credit. Season 3, I know you probably don't watch Gotham, but season 3 of Gotham's actually been good. But Gotham is just very hammy sometimes. But
it's goofy.
It's a goofy show. But season 3 has turned out to be pretty well. Probably, I think the best seasons since they've done so far. And it's going to be a real test of tournament because Gotham's going to be moved on to Thursdays this fall. Arrow's going to Thursdays as well. And so it'll be interesting to see how that's kind of.
We'll see which Batman show gets the views.
I mean, you got a Batman that just shoots arrows. You got a Batman that's going through puberty. So we'll see which one does.
It's kind of the same.
It's kind of the same thing. But yeah,
it does feel like sometimes Oliver's going through puberty too. The way he just kind of like nobody understands. There's darkness inside of me, and that's unfair.
That is,
but yeah, I get
I will say this: give the big selling point for me, Stephen Amell's acting.
He's killed it this
when
season.
he called his mom on the phone. And he's having that phone call conversation after he's getting off
Something about the Arrowverse and calling your mom on the phone that just brings tears. Because remember last season
when Barry
in the Speed Force, when he called his mom, I was weeping, and that was the episode Kevin Smith wrote and directed.
And that's probably what
directed.
That was I think two of the best episodes when he first went to Earth 2, had that phone call with his mom, and the one when he went back to Speed Force and saw his mom, and he's doing.
That's what it was, the Earth 2.
And she's reading, but no, the one where she's reading the story, the dinosaur story, and the iris comes through. And Kevin Smith has always been an excellent character dialogue. That's his down.
And he can direct superheroes. There's something about superheroes he can do.
And
so even his comic book run with Batman, I thought was very underrated.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't talk about it.
But good shows. Hopefully, both next seasons will be good. I think they're getting themselves back off to it. I think, personally speaking, if you look at it, I think Flash season 4 will probably. It's early to tell, but if they don't have a speedster and they work more on the character development and get back into, establishing Barry Allen and making him to kind of grow in his character. Because to be honest with you, I've gotten there's times I've been kind of ticked off of Barry because he just seems like he's not really going anywhere. He's just kind of
staying in the same space. So, and he only gets faster when it serves the plot.
Yeah.
But we obviously have a lot to say about TV. I want to start talking about TV a little bit more in the coming episodes. We'll have a TV episode here in the next week or so.
Yeah, and let us know what you want us to talk about TV. Let us know what you thought of the Flash, Arrow.
Yeah, tell us in the comments and yell at us on Facebook and Twitter. And down there at the bottom, we have our WRBL What to Watch down there.
I am so
right
scared.
Down there.
I'm scared of all this. Go ahead.
It's a bunch of new stuff. And so yeah, we're going to talk about some TVs, what we're kind of watching. We're going to talk about it with you guys. Let us know what shows you want us to watch and what you guys want us to talk about. And we'll try to do that. We're already watching.
I'm not watching Young Sheldon. Go ahead.
I'm not watching Young Sheldon either. Sorry, you're on your own with that. Just tell us how it is. So we're going to go on to our next topic, which, as you can see, is 90s remakes. And basically what that's in reference to is there was an article coming out today about how Hollywood's running out of 80s remakes. We've had so many 80s remakes coming out. 80s hit TV shows, 80 movies that they've been rebooting. We just got a Top Gun 2 getting announced. That's why I'm decked out in my Maverick, which is not Maverick at all. I'm just wearing a leather jacket.
Why your phone also plays Danger Zone?
It is why it also plays Danger Zone, because I'm in the Danger Zone. So I'm going to put on my Tom
like you're in the Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Days of
the Aaron Paul.
I would love to see that. That would be great. You know what? Since we're going that subway, why don't instead of take 80s and 90s and combine them together and make them as one? Do 80s versus 90s. Yeah. Take Top Gun versus Days of Thunder.
I love it.
Take that, Hollywood. Take that.
Throw in Don Toretto from Fast and the Furious.
Oh,
throw him in there. I'm a mechanic. It's like, you're not a mechanic, you're a superhero.
And while you're at it, just throw in Rocky IV and just have him fight the Russians.
Look, I'm just a guy from Queen. I don't know why my Don Toretto sounds like Sylvester Stallone. I'm Don Toretto.
It's because you can do both the
I
same.
don't know.
Just say,
I'm Groot.
Just say, I'm the pacifier. That's all you got to say.
I'm the pacifier.
There you go. That is your Vin Diesel right there. So they want to start going after 90s stuff now, really?
Yeah, that's the natural progression. If they start running out of 80s stuff, they're going to start running out of 90s stuff. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to figure out what kind of 90s shows 90s shows or movies do you think should be adapted next. So obviously, I'm a huge Matrix fan, but I can't pick the Matrix because they're already rebooting the Matrix, and I'm very upset about this.
They are rebooting it.
So
start Jaden Smith.
Exactly. And one of the movies that I think that they should remake is Braveheart. I think they should remake Braveheart. Now, before you destroy me in the comment section, Braveheart was a Best Picture winner, 1995. Why would you want to remake it? Well, I'm a big history buff. And maybe you don't have to strictly remake Braveheart. Maybe you just use the name to get butts and seats. I know I sound like an exec right now. But I'm a huge history buff, and I like when movies get history right. Braveheart is known for its historical inaccuracies. It is so wildly inaccurate. The only thing that is historically accurate in Braveheart is that William Wallace is in it.
That's pretty much.
That's pretty much it. And then
That's pretty much
it's in Scotland. Those are the only two things. And I want to see a movie. I want to see a Braveheart where the actual William Wallace Scottish forces fight for their independence. I actually want to see that battle, and I want to see it kind of like how Game of Thrones did their last season with the Battle of the Bastards. I don't know if we can say bastards. Just bleep that out if I can't say that. Yeah, well, FCC doesn't watch this. So I want to see that, and I want to see it on the scale that we're able to do nowadays. You know, I don't think Braveheart, there was hardly any CGI. And for that, I give Mel Gibson kudos for being able to make a movie that scale without a whole lot of CGI. And his ATV, I don't know if you've ever seen the behind the scenes of Braveheart,
no,
but he had to drive an ATV from group to group directing people, and I thought that was really cool. But Braveheart's still a great movie, but I think you can do Braveheart even better with maybe a big-time director, somebody who's used to making these big kind of movies, and somebody who respects the history enough to get the history right.
You know what? That's actually I was gonna make fun of you on whatever choice you get picked, but the fact that you picked Braveheart, I was like, that's really actually an excellent choice.
And you can even keep the lines like they'll never take our freedom.
And show their fannies.
Show their fannies.
No, actually, Braveheart is one of those movies where I'm not against a remake. I think it's completely historically inaccurate.
Yeah.
However, as a movie, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, me too.
But you know what? It's one of those movies I would say it's due time. It's been over 20 years. It's been what, 22 years?
22 years, yeah.
22 years that you can go ahead and do it if you really want to. Heck, I wouldn't mind Mel Gibson directed it if he really wanted to. And no, he directed the first one, didn't he?
Yeah, Mel Gibson directed the first one.
Okay, so just don't have Mel Gibson. Just get someone else, like you said.
And that's another thing. I like Mel Gibson in that movie, but I think somebody else with a little bit more range. I love Mel Gibson as an actor, but he only has two settings. He has calm or manic.
That's true.
And that suits it. That is very useful.
That's why we love Lethal Weapon.
That's why we love Lethal Weapon. But I mean, that's very useful for somebody like William Wallace, and it fit the movie in 1995. But I think somebody with a little bit more range, maybe a Michael Fassbender, somebody, he already did it once in Macbeth. I thought that was a very underrated movie, and that I made you watch. And it's very hard to get through, but if you watch Macbeth, you won't be sorry. Great acting.
It's an excellent movie. Well, because Macbeth is probably my favorite Shakespeare play, that's the reason why, because I used to read that a lot.
So good.
So it's such a good movie. You know what? Oh man, this is so hard because you know what's funny? The top two things that come in my mind, they already did. One of them was Lethal Weapon, but they did that as a TV. That's a TV series on Fox. It's picked up to second season. It's actually one of my favorite TV series that's on right now because I do love the movies. And the Fox show is not.
Oh wait, it is Fox, isn't it?
Well, the Fox show is not bad, and so it's actually CBS.
I tried to take credit for it. Sorry, CBS.
No, CBS has MacGyver, and now I'm picking up SWAT. So
there you go.
See.
Only on CBS.
Only on CBS. We know drama. TNT. And the second one was Power Rangers, which they already rebooted this year. And so, honestly, if there's something that if I had to purely think 90s that I wouldn't mind seeing being rebooted, would probably be either The Excellent Adventures of Bill and Ted Or honestly, another Austin Powers movie.
Yeah, and I feel like I saw something where they were working on that. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they are coming out with an Austin Powers 4. Sooner or later, you got to think it's coming.
You would think so, especially after, and you know, it is. I like the fact that Daniel Craig, I think, was the one that said, or Pierce Brosnan was saying the reason why James Bond got a reboot was because of Austin Powers, because Austin Powers had made the James Bond movies look so stupid.
Well, that and Jason Bourne.
And Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne just made James Bond look like a big old wuss.
And so I think they said they were like, oh man, we got to reboot. They have to reboot the franchise because it wasn't going to compete against that. And I never really thought about that. I was like, well, that is true because these movies are awful. In comparison's sake, if you rest in peace, Roger Moore. I love them.
They're silly movies.
His movies were silly. They were.
Then they came out with Casino Royale, which could not be less silly. It's so not silly.
Well, it was directed by Martin Campbell, and GoldenEye, which there's a huge debate among James Bond fans that is GoldenEye a good movie, because a lot of people consider it. The only reason why it's well known is because everyone played the N64 video game, and thus they loved the movie based on because of the N64 game.
Right.
And I hate to say it, that might be the reason, because I love the N64 game, and so when I saw the movie, I was like, oh, this is so great.
There is no debating. GoldenEye is one of the best Nintendo 64 games.
Yeah.
If not the best. And anybody who disagrees with me can fight me.
Unless you pick Oddjob, then he's a loser. But personally speaking,
not if you know how to use him right. There's a trick to Oddjob.
There is a trick. You need to know. Yeah, man, it's, ooh, God. I tell you, it's the 90s, just trying to pick something out of it. I'll be, oh, dang it. See, I was going to say something. It's hard. I have to actually say, because I was going to say, like, oh, okay, they could just do another Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan movie. They did with Chris Pine. I forgot about that.
Shadow Recruit.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I was like, oh, that wasn't too good. Shoot.
They tried to be Jason Bourne, too.
They did.
Everybody tried to be Jason Bourne.
You know,
last year, Jason Bourne tried to be Jason Bourne and failed. So
he did.
Everybody's trying to be Jason Bourne.
Just reboot The Fugitive, because I see that probably is the one that's going to happen.
Oh, that'd be great.
Just reboot The Fugitive.
A lot of people would hate that, but I actually would be down with that.
I'll be okay. Just at this point.
Our very own Teresa Whitaker would hate that.
Oh, she does.
She would hate
shoot.
that.
Teresa, she refuses to watch the Jack Reacher movie. I had to, like, I can't convince her. I was like, Jack Reacher, the first one, I was like, it's actually a decent movie. So he's like, you'll really like it. She's like, it's Tom Cruise. I know. I was like, I understand. He's not what he is in the book, but it's actually a pretty good movie. It is. I'm being honest with you. Yeah. The first one's pretty good. So I get that. Yeah. Well, shoot, because I was going to say, like, oh, The Mummy, they're rebooting that. That comes out next month with Tom Cruise. So
I say just make a sequel.
You know, at this point, I think Hollywood's already kind of ahead of the game a little bit, because when you bring that up, it brings up an excellent point, because they've already kind of picked some popular 90s stuff and they've tried to done it and tried to move with it before. Because, you know, they had the 80s was Terminator, not Terminator, well, Terminator was 80s, but Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, primary 80s stuff, and Transformers has been popular, but Turtles is kind of...
I say bring back Family Matters.
Why
That's
not?
all I care about. Bring back Family Matters.
Bring back Growing Pains.
Fuller Family Matters. Only on Netflix.
Bring back, oh my goodness, Fuller Family Matters.
Fuller Family Matters.
Bring back the Kings of Comedy.
I would love that.
Please bring back
Kings of Comedy. If you can minus Steve Harvey, because he won't know who's on it. And the winner is D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley. Oh, what's that? He's not on this tour. Okay. Cedric, the Entertainer. What's that? We only have Hannibal Buress. Okay. Hannibal Buress and Kevin Hart.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's going on? Hey, y'all. Hey. Bam. Bam. So anyway, I was sitting there. I wanted to go up to Steve Harvey. I said, hey, Steve Harvey, what's going on, man? It's good to see you. And Steve Harvey, he went and punched me right in the face, and he said, you in my locker room. What's wrong, Steve Harvey? That's my Kevin Hart. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. No. Okay. So Kings of Comedy, new Kings of Comedy. We're gonna cast it right now.
Yeah.
All right. So Kevin Hart, Hannibal Buress, Dave Chappelle,
Ooh.
If you can get him, Dave Chappelle, and who else?
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams. He's not doing anything right now. He's not fighting any 13-year-olds right now.
Right. He's not 13-year-olds because if you can't get Cat Williams, substitute him with like another person that's always he's there, and you can always substitute him like a George Lopez.
Hassan Minaj is really good. He came out with something. He came out with it. He's a really funny comedian.
Or
He might not mix with the Dave Chappelle's and the Kevin Hart's.
Just get Trevor Noah from The Daily Show.
Get Trevor Noah. He's okay. He's what I call he funny, not ha ha funny.
You
can use that.
Get Jay Farrell since he got fired.
Jay Farrell. I would love that.
Since he got fired from
He can
SNL.
do impressions of the other 4 comedians on the tour. And
Hey, what's going on? My name is Jay Farrell. I'm gonna do an impression of Andrew Murphy. Ooh, my goodness. Hey, what's going on? I'm okay. Okay. Woo.
No joke. When I went to Universal Studios a week ago, there was a Shrek 4D entrance, and the donkey that they had, I swear it was a white guy doing a black guy's voice, and I was like, that is a very racist thing that I'm seeing. I promise it wasn't a black guy.
If you
doing
ever
the
watched
voice.
The Incredibles not Blu-ray. Have you ever watched The Incredibles behind the scenes?
Yeah.
There's a behind the scenes feature where Samuel L. Jackson and the guy who plays the voice of
Mr. Incredible.
Coach, what is his name? Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah.
They're playing as the characters Mr. Incredible, and
They switch.
It's just, when they're watching propaganda cartoons when they were young, and one of them was Frozen or what was his character?
Frozone.
Frozone is actually they decided to change him to a white guy and have a white man voicing as him, and you say, Bob, they got a white man voicing as me. I'm pretty sure that. I'm pretty sure it's just it. Maybe the guy called out sick that day, and it's really funny to me because I know it's a PG-rated Disney movie, but the fact that was in the commentary stuff, I was like, wow, Disney let this one go.
Yeah,
so it's kind of really no, seriously, go. I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube. It's one of the funniest things that you could do because clearly you can tell, like you say, it was a white person impersonated as someone.
You can always tell. You can always tell.
It's all it is.
We're not good at accents.
But I'll tell you what you are good at. Tell you how to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and MySpace.
It's called Instagram. Instagram.
Is Tom on there?
Sure. I'm
Okay.
sure, probably.
Okay.
He takes photos now.
I think he does.
He's a professional photographer.
Is that
That's
what
what
he
Tom does now.
What?
Yeah, and he takes awesome photos.
What?
Check it out. Check out Tom from MySpace's photos.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
Tom,
sure he's on Instagram.
And Tom, check us out what to watch as well. Just on Facebook, Instagram. It's all right there. Look at that. Oh my goodness, you did a really fantastic
Try my
job.
best.
That's really some nice stuff. Also, go to WRBL.com. You can check out all the latest episodes on there. You can also check out the latest episodes on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, follow, comment. Let us know what you think of today's episode. What are your favorite season finales? What do you think about Guardians of the Galaxy 3? What 90s show that you want to come back? Is it, Growing Pains? Is it Family Feud? Double Dare? Who knows? Anything.
Ooh, Double Dare, please.
What's Mark Summers doing? I don't know.
Also, make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that little bell alert so you get notified every time we come out with a new video, whenever that may be. It may be a month from now. We don't know at this point. No, we're going to try to get those episodes to you guys more frequently. And again, like and subscribe and comment below. Let us know what you want us to talk about next. I'm going to say bye. This is us waving bye. Wave bye, Chris.
I thought every once in a while we like to talk about certain stuff. Because it's been a minute. How have you been? You okay?
The episode's over. We don't have to talk anymore. I'm just going to put on my shades.
We could be friends.
No. I don't get paid to be your friend, Chris. This episode's over.